Every now and then someone says to me, I don't really believe in God. And sometimes I respond asking them to tell me about the God they don't believe in, and they will then give a description, a definition of their God. And I can respond to them saying, well, I don't believe in that God either. The God you describe, I don't believe in either. It's very important that our understanding of God, of who God is accurate. And the difficulty is that God isn't just like us. God's not just another human person. God's not just another being among many. We see this in today's scriptures very clearly. And there's a line in theology that I heard many years ago. I've never been able to work out exactly where it came from, but this line I find very helpful. It's this: God writes straight with crooked lines. God writes straight with crooked lines. What does it mean? Well, for me, it's another way of saying that God's ways are not our ways. God doesn't do things in the way that we do. For example, in today's gospel reading, what farmer would leave 99 sheep to go and look for one that was lost? That would be crazy. It's not reasonable. It's not logical. Many farmers would just count their losses and say, well, that's the loss of one, I've got to look after the 99. But in relationship with us, God is not like that. God has a particular attraction to the one who is experiencing a sense of being lost. God's ways are not our ways, thanks be to God. And then we have the strange situation today in the first reading from the prophet Isaiah, which was also the first reading a couple of days ago. The crooked ways will be made straight. You can see why I thought of God writes straight with crooked lines. God's relationship with every human person is unique, individual, personal, and intimate. And very often we are not able to see that. We've closed our eyes to that wonderful reality. We're focused on our own stuff and our own joys and our own problems. But even if we don't feel as though we are in relationship with God, God is in relationship with us. Sometimes we have this idea that the people of God are this group moving together in one pack along a programmed line to a future and eternal destination. Well, perhaps in some ways the image might be useful, but overall I'm not sure it's that helpful. You see, we all take different paths. We all move in different ways. Some of that is in response to the call of God, which is for every person unique and diverse. And at times I make choices that lead me off on my own wrong path. Well, even if I've done that, God stays with me. So when I wake up to the fact of my need, my desire for God once again, God is with me, writing straight with my crooked lines. I can never be far from God, because even if I intentionally set out to distance myself from God, which few of us ever do, God is with me, always. If we need proof of this, again, the exercise we tried a few days ago, find your pulse. And if you can feel that beating pulse, that's proof that God is with you. Whatever problem you're struggling with, whatever anxiety, God is with every one of us in a very individual and a unique and a personal way, writing straight with the crooked lines of our lives.